Hey, howdy folks, Evan here. Before we started this podcast, episode 9, I wanted to show you guys how much liquor Boone, Carly, and Matt put into the jungle juice. I am sitting here recording this audio right now, still hungover. Carly, Boone, and Matt, as much as I love you guys, I hate you. Fuck you guys. Also, we did start streaming on Twitch if you guys want to check that out. And we're working on producing the best quality podcast we can. So please enjoy this little story of them dumping liquor into a fucking big bowl and enjoy the podcast. Bye.
That's enough of that.
We're back, baby.
Yeah, welcome back. Mountain Cantina.
Episode 9.
Yeah, been a long time since we sat here.
And it's live for the first time.
For the first time
yeah.
ever.
Mm-hmm.
We're live on Twitch.
We are live on Twitch.
That's
We're
right.
trying to figure out this whole Twitch thing.
Yeah.
I have been very stressed out as for today and yesterday trying to figure out this Twitch thing, but I think it'd be a cool way to get the podcast out there a little bit more.
And you've been a real champ about it.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
It's rough.
You've only had one freak out, which
One
is nice.
meltdown.
Yeah.
We got the gyms back today in Manitoba,
Yeah, we did.
so I got some anger out today,
That's good.
so that's good.
I'm done waiting for my intro. What's up, guys?
Oh, yeah.
It's Matt. I'm back.
Matt's here.
back.
He doesn't need an intro. Everybody knows who
Everybody
he
knows
is.
who
and
Matt
if you
is.
don't, you should.
Yeah. So we're on episode 9. We would just like to say out loud, we recorded episode 9 already.
We did. And we recorded it like a week ago.
Yeah. And we had 2 other guests on, but we had an issue with the audio file.
Yeah.
It's not great. So this is episode 9 now.
So that's our
Yeah.
bad. You got to forgive us. We are new at this still.
Yeah.
We haven't completely figured out all the tech issues yet.
Yeah, it's
So-
we're, like none of us have dealt with any audio or video
No.
recording at all before, so it's still a learning process, but we're getting there.
We are all
Obviously,
noobs.
today we started streaming, so that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Matt, any comment?
If you're on Twitch, how are you? Grab a drink. Light a candle.
Come on in.
As
You're
you can
looking good tonight.
Fuck
We're
a
drinking-
candle, light a joint.
We're drinking jungle juice again.
Yeah,
I'm
because-
drinking it out of this big ass fucking jug.
I'm drinking it out of a drinking horn.
And
you don't have
I'm
any
being
clean
normal
dishes.
for once.
Like a hero from Valhalla. No, I'm drinking it out of this horn by choice.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck the
Yours is by
dishes.
choice.
We want to talk about, or I want to talk about,
Yeah, me too.
the fucking beef I have with Snapchat trying to be TikTok.
What is with that? What are they
Stop.
called? Reels or something? No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
Instagram.
Instagram.
What is it called? I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't care.
Which is a separate issue. The Instagram Reels,
Terrible.
they're trying to be TikTok too.
Yeah,
They're
But they're
literally-
at least okay.
They're literally TikToks that people post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Reels
Yeah.
are.
So
Like-
it lets people like me who don't have TikTok, and I made that stand a long time ago that I wasn't gonna get a TikTok, and now I want to get a TikTok.
Yeah.
But I already said I wasn't gonna.
You got to
So
get a TikTok
I can't
to
do it.
support the
I
podcast.
can't, but I can't do it. You're right.
Yeah, it's for the podcast. You got to
Alright,
do it
fine.
for that.
I got
We'll
a
see.
TikTok for the
We'll see. We'll talk
sole
about
purpose of following MDC Pod. That was the
Yeah.
only
Nice.
reason I wanted to get TikTok. Help the team.
Help the team.
TikTok is
Fucking get a load
fucking
of this guy.
great,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
It's so much fun.
Before I go to bed, I'm like, oh, I'll just watch a couple videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
2 hours later, still
2
on
hours
there.
later, still there.
There's a lot of funny shit on TikTok. There's a lot of cringy shit on TikTok, but they
Yeah.
have a good algorithm. They figured it out. They know what they're doing for themselves,
It's
and
so
they
smart.
they give you good content that you want to watch.
Yeah.
And they keep you in tune. They also you're
They've-
scrolling through videos, and it's very simply you just scroll through, and then there's another video.
Yeah,
so it
and-
just keeps you there.
And people have literally made music, like,
Yeah.
based off of TikTok that
Yeah.
is now songs, and it's awesome for
Yeah.
those people, not for us, because we're broke, sad, and alone.
We're not
Instagram.
alone. Look at us.
Okay, Evan, tell me the fucked up thing about Snapchat. I don't know what this is.
You know what this is?
I want to know what's going on with Snapchat.
Snapchat basically does the same thing as TikTok's trying to do. It gets people who post videos in there and
On their stories.
Yeah, you scroll through them, and it's just like, oh, it's like TikTok. It's like, what you want to make a video, want to make it popular, you can like it or whatever. You just keep scrolling through them. All of them are fucking dog shit. Every single one of them.
Every single one?
Terrible. TikTok has it down. Good content, good people,
Yeah.
funny people. This is either cringy or just not funny.
Yeah, and they don't have enough people like creators on Snapchat. Like no one's gonna create on Snapchat. Snapchat is for sending pictures to each other.
Yeah, sending pictures of your
Sending
dick to
nudes,
people.
basically.
I knew you guys were gonna say that.
Listen, that's
avoided
really
that.
the. I don't know for sure that that's the intended purpose of Snapchat.
I don't think
but
it
it
is.
probably is.
Did you hear that someone like literally murdered someone on Snapchat on their story, and that's how they got caught?
Fucking idiot.
Why would you show
Fucking
that?
Like, you know, like
idiot.
how you can like hold the recording button and move it to like the little lock? That's what he did. He's so
Fucking
smart.
idiot.
Wednesday night, murdering. Come check me out.
Monday murders.
And then after you do that, you see it and then think, that's for the story.
Yeah. And then you have your geo map on, and you don't think that the cops are gonna find you. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Listen, either the guy's an idiot or he's flexing really hard on everybody.
I'm gonna say he's an idiot.
I'm hoping he's flexing.
I mean, he's in jail, so
Yeah.
But still.
for good reason.
Well, yeah, he killed
Yeah.
the guy.
But,
Anyways.
basically, the problem with Snapchat is I don't think they go off of like likes or like a For You page.
No.
So it's just a bunch of random assholes' stories,
Yeah.
which suck. And if they are creators, they're the most cringy assholes. They're so full of themselves,
Yeah.
and they create the worst shit. It's kind of like Vine. Remember, like, people got big on Vine, and then they just created things, and it wasn't funny at all, but they still got a lot of money from it.
Like Logan
That's what-
Paul.
Yes.
I mean, I like
basically what it
David
is.
Dobrik. He's nice.
Yeah, he's good.
And
He's
I
good
want him
shit.
to give me a Tesla,
Yeah.
David.
If David, if
Or
you're-
Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast.
Yeah, come on
Hi.
in.
Come on
Give
in.
us some money. so
Only
we
you
can
guys are allowed to watch us.
put it towards our podcast.
I am the beast.
Anyways, so Matt's back.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
He has a story.
I-
A long-awaited story.
I am here to tell a story. Evan, I know, is super interested about this.
So's Boone.
This is Matt and his physiotherapist. Touched a little bit about it on the last
Yes.
episode I was on. Here to
a
tell the full story, okay?
Yes.
He left us hanging for like a week and a half here. It's been a long time since Matt was on. Maybe 2 weeks. I don't know.
It's been a long
like
time.
I said, been a long
Yeah.
time.
Anyways, I'm back. I'm here to tell a story.
What's up, guys?
That's a long cliffhanger.
So, I got a free massage from a female physiotherapist. I was 17. She was 24.
How'd you get it free?
Because it was at a competition, and she was giving away free and then handing out her card,
Okay, a competition for powerlifting for
Wait,
people who
yeah.
do not know Matt.
Oh.
which we will get into powerlifting.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Anyway, so a month later, I was doing a Russian squat program, which Boone knows about, which we'll talk about.
Yes,
It's called
sir.
Smolov, very intense, and I ended up getting a little bit of an injury in between the glute and the hamstring, a connecting muscle,
Just like every
Oh,
single other
shit.
person who's done small love.
and
Listen, we'll talk about it later. Never
and
mind.
I had to go get some work done on it,
Yeah.
and reached into my wallet, and I'm like, hey, I got a card. She was hot. I'm down. And I went, and the first session was awful. I was probably 20 minutes late.
Okay.
Why?
Solely, it was in Winnipeg,
Oh, yeah.
and I looked up how long it was to get there in the middle of the day, and then I went at rush hour, which is
Oh.
obviously a lot longer.
Yeah, that's not a good call.
Couldn't find a place to park, paid $14 for a Jets game parking.
Oh,
Ooh.
I didn't know Winnipeg at the time. I'd probably never been here really.
right.
Anyways, go up, get this massage. It was good. And then I booked booked the next appointment, went back, and things started picking up, okay? She's laughing at what I'm saying and whatnot, okay? And at the end, she's like, here's my number. If you have any questions about... She gives me work to do in between my weekly sessions.
Yeah.
She's like, if you have any question about what's going on, just hit me up, right? And I'm like, once again, this is a golden opportunity. And I told Sean after my second appointment, I'm like, Sean, this girl's hot. I'm into it. And Sean said, you do not get your hopes up. This is never going to happen. You are setting yourself up for disaster.
Yeah.
Well,
so
disappointment anyway.
just let it go.
This is true.
And I could not let it go. I told him I'd let it go, but I could not let it go. So I hit her up about one of my questions, and we start talking. Things are picking up.
All right.
Now I come back for the third session.
Sure.
Now we're laughing all the time about things I'm saying.
What age is this chick?
24. I'm 17.
Okay. Okay.
Is that
very weird?
That's legal, right?
No,
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We don't
I'm
know
just
what the
getting
name-
massages at this point.
Yeah,
Anyway.
which is
just
totally fine.
massages.
Right, massages are legal.
Massages are
All the time.
100% legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things continue to pick up between 3 and 4, okay?
Right.
It was 4 to 5. The 4th massage to the 5th massage that things got intense.
Okay.
Go on.
The massages got deep tissued.
I have a sauna in my house, and she was telling me about how their sauna's at the gym she works at. And she's like, but they don't, like, they're not running anymore. They don't work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's too bad. And she was like, we can make it hot and steamy.
No.
No.
Wait. Did you know what age you were?
Yeah, oh, for sure. 100%.
What the fuck?
And
Matt.
I screenshot and send this to Sean. Sean, full caps, replies, yes! Let's go!
Yeah.
The 5th appointment comes around.
All right.
Okay.
This is about a month and a week in. She's already told me she wants to make things hot and steamy. But is something going to happen? Is something not going to happen? Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
We've been texting, but is it really going to happen in real life?
Yeah.
No.
During the massage, I forgot my shorts. So I'm just in my underwear,
Okay.
laying
man.
down on the
Good man.
table.
Okay.
She's giving me the massage. Halfway through, do the flip over from the back to the front. I got a boner.
No.
Does everybody know where your hip flexor is?
Yeah.
While she massages my right hip flexor.
Yeah.
This
When
is
she-
I want anybody who doesn't know, this is like within 3 inches of dick and balls.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's right there.
yeah,
The inner
it's
thigh.
Inner thigh right at your hip crease.
Yeah.
so she does the right
Essentially.
hip flexor. Comes around for the left side. She don't touch no hip flexor.
No.
She touches my dick. We make eye contact. Oh yeah.
Wait, are you sitting on your back,
I'm laying on my back.
On a massage
just
chair.
boner out?
Yeah.
17-year-old. There's a fucking 24-year-old woman massaging your thigh.
Yeah. Okay.
You just roll around with complete confidence that your fucking boner is just.
I want you to think about back when you were a teenager.
Yeah.
So many things turned you on, right?
Absolutely.
Dude, even like I was actually gonna ask you that, you guys, that I don't mean to stop your story, but have you guys ever like gone to go get like a physical and you're like, dude, okay, first of all, I'm a boxer, right? With boxing, I think they changed it, but they used to have to squeeze your balls. And they used to have to make
For
sure
what
that
reason?
they used to have to make sure that you had both of your balls, because if you have only one of your ball, then you're not allowed to fight.
Why?
You're not allowed to fight because they're like,
Because
if
if you
want to
lose a
have
ball,
kids,
you got none.
yeah. If
Ah.
there's someone punches you in the ball and then you lose that last ball, you can't have kids.
I don't know that I've ever heard of anybody losing a ball in boxing, but I mean, it could happen.
I guess
Yeah.
it happened.
Yeah, but you have no idea how terrified I am, even to this day, of going to the doctor, them like looking at my dick, and me just out of like either nervousness or the doctor's hot, just getting a boner.
I picture it being a
can't do that.
guy doctor, though.
Yeah, you can do that.
If it's a guy
could get away with
doctor, fine. But if it's like, what if like this hot girl doctor comes in and she's like, let me like take a look at your cock.
I don't think
I'm
that's
like,
what they say.
Listen,
Oh,
Irish,
Well,
in that situation, if it's happening to you, she probably gets that like 6-8 times a week.
Or a day.
that's a good point. Yeah.
And they're like old man balls, too.
Like one time I went to get like STI tested.
yeah.
Came back clear, by the way.
Let's go.
But, dude, the nurse was a dime. She was, and I was like, I better not have to show my dick to this girl, because it will be hard. I was thinking, like, how did you go even through 4 of those therapy sessions without having a hard dick from a hot girl touching, like, your hip?
So, like, we gotta think. I was wearing shorts most of the time
Yeah, which is weird to me. I get massages all the time.
because it was physiotherapy, so there was no sheet ever,
I see.
Right.
and we were doing work. So most of the time it was in shorts, tucked the waistband, and like kind of to the side so the tip's not sticking out.
All right. Oh,
But this
okay.
time I'm
Get
full
away
underwear. If you're hard, everybody knows.
Yeah. Like, if you put it in your waistband, your tips
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Right.
But maybe she did it on purpose, but let's get back into it.
Yeah.
She touches the dick. We make eye contact. And she keeps massaging me. We finish the massage. And I'm like, what is going to happen here?
Sorry to stop you. She just whacks your dick, going from right hip to left hip.
She went from right hip, walked around the table to the left hip, touched my dick. We make eye contact. She kind of like moves it and then keeps working on my hip flexor. Because think about it. She's the one at risk here. She can't just grab my
24-year-old.
She can't just start grabbing my dick and jerking it.
She's a massage therapist.
She is a healthcare professional.
Right. Yeah, that's.
So she just moves it to the side and keeps working.
Get this thing out of here.
Then after the massage, she gets up, does a little notes on her back table. I'm like 6 feet away at the table, right? I'm stood up. She stood up. She leans against her back table, gives me the look, and she says, "So?" And in a split second, I went, "So?" And I fucking walked over, and we start making out in the massage room.
What? No way.
We move over to the table. I throw her down on the table, get on top.
This isn't
This is
a
a
professional office.
At an establishment,
It's
yes.
literally like a
I also need to point out
porn
at
movie.
the end of your appointment.
At the end of my appointment.
Does she have another appointment in the next 15 minutes?
It was her last appointment.
Just
Clutch.
for personal research
Clutch.
purposes, where is this place?
At this time, cannot share. We do not give any
Not after
indication
this podcast.
of who is who on the podcast when it
Yes.
comes to Matt's stories.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I have done some research. Nobody knows this. Boone knows my physiotherapist. Boone, if
No
you figure
way.
out who it is, don't say anything.
Don't say.
But Boone knows my physiotherapist who
There's
I
no
had sex
way.
with. Boone knows her.
Whoa, that's such a big deal. Okay.
Damn.
I have an idea.
We keep going with it.
Yeah.
Like, she was into it. She's 7 years older than me. She's the one at risk. I kept coming back for appointments. She like drove out to Portage, where I live, 3 times.
What?
No
How
shit.
horny is this bitch to fuck a 17-year-old boy?
I know. And let's let it be known, she has a boyfriend.
No way.
I knew that.
So, I
don't
mean-
know why I gasped.
He must just be dog shit.
Yeah.
Because she's risking
A lot.
her boyfriend,
Her career.
her career,
Yeah.
maybe jail time. I don't
Yeah.
really know. For me?
Nah, there's no jail time for that.
For some fucking 17-year-old boy in little boxers.
Yeah, and then I went back for my last appointment, and she wanted to hook up after. This was 3 months into me getting treatment, and I just wasn't into it anymore. She started treating me like I was her boyfriend. She was coming forward with her problems and stuff, and she came up to me in public events and would sit with me, and I'm like, go away.
Yeah.
And she'd get offended, like, why don't you want to sit with me? And I'm like, I don't want you to get fired.
Yeah.
You are the one at risk here. If anybody finds out, they're going to give me a high five.
Yeah.
Like, good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
But if anybody finds out about you, your job is done.
Well,
They're-
just
So
gonna give
unfair,
you
girls
potentially.
versus guys.
You get a high
potentially
five.
anyway.
You get a high five, and she gets just 5 years in prison.
She wouldn't go to jail for that. There's no way.
I think she
Maybe not
might.
jail, but
She
she
definitely- she
loses
definitely
her job.
She loses her
I
job
think
for
she
sure.
loses her
Definitely
job for
loses her
sure.
job.
And she
Might lose
loses
her
all the references and all that stuff,
That's-
and it'd be hard
oh,
to
yeah.
find another
Yeah.
job, and it'd just be like,
Probably
oh,
loses her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Her boyfriend might be 14. Who knows?
who knows?
Her boyfriend is a grown adult.
Are they still dating?
They're coming up on 7 or 8 years.
Does he know?
As far as I know, he doesn't know.
How many people do you think she had sex with in that room?
See, people have said that to me, and I truly believe this. Only me, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
She said that I was her second, and like
What?
it was only this boy and me.
No way.
And yeah.
For
But like she could be lying and it could be every single guy, but I really don't think so. Like I just made it work.
I don't
you also said
understand
it
what
went on for,
power
like-
Matt has.
For months, right?
It was about a month and a half, and then I was like I'm afraid she's going to break up with her boyfriend and come and try to date me. And I just wasn't down.
Yeah, that's a good thing to
'Cause-
be afraid of.
I was just there to get a good massage and get a good piping. Because I was paying for an hour
Yeah.
and then consistently getting 2.5 hour appointments.
No way.
She'd work on me way extra, and then I'd work on her. Yeah. Yeah.
So is this where your thing for massage tables came from, do you think?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I see that hard table, and like,
And you're
normally,
like, ooh, baby.
yeah, normally you'd be like, I don't want to have sex on that.
Yeah.
Dude,
And I'm like, I love that.
when things happen in a young boy's life, they carry on into adulthood. You know, when I moved to Canada first, my first friend was a girl called Michaela.
Okay.
And she was an Aboriginal girl.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to date her. And I don't want to now. Like, she was, I was like absolutely stunned by her.
Yeah.
And now my type is Aboriginal girls.
I know.
And I'm dating an Aboriginal girl.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's great.
Yes.
So I think every guy has this thing where like something happens before they become an adult, and it just sticks with them for life. And yours is massage
Boone?
tables, and now it's a kink for you.
Yeah, or anything, just probably people who like massage therapists in general, because if you know they can give you good massage, like I'm still big into the gym. I would love to have a personal massage therapist. Right? And then
Absolutely.
and then one you're fucking as well.
Yeah,
Wild.
perfect.
So yeah, we probably did it five or six times, and then I had to call it quits because I could feel the breakup coming between her and her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I cannot be there when she breaks up with him. I don't
Dude.
want to be the guy that she comes to because
You would have
No
got
way.
beaten the shit out of like a 24-year-old guy beats the
no,
shit out of
I've seen him. As
beat him up.
as the one fight I've been in where I got my ass handed to me due to not seeing what was coming, I still think I could have beat this guy up.
Was this the one?
The New Year's?
Yeah, I've been in one fight, whereas New Year's where
I'm gonna argue that wasn't
What?
like
No.
What?
They
you
don't
didn't
tie
even really
together.
get your ass handed to you.
No,
Like
I
it
don't
took you a while to even realize you were getting attacked.
yeah, I got turned and then got punched the fuck out of. I seriously believe, like, even if that guy did that to me, like, I've seen him, I could beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I don't care how old he is. I just seen him. He doesn't have the look.
I love that
tough.
story.
I mean, his girlfriend gets fucked by 17-year-old kids. How bad can he be?
Yeah, that's
You must
tough.
be
That's
pretty
not good.
bad at
I-
sex.
I hope he never knows. If
So-
he doesn't know
Well, if
already,
he's-
I hope he never
I hope
knows.
he's listening to this podcast and wondering.
And this is how he finds out.
Like, wait a minute.
I don't know
Yeah,
his
I'm a
name,
small
but
girl for
I don't
this.
know your name, but yeah, I did that. That was me.
So what's the conclusion to this story? How did you drop her and like say, listen, I don't want to get in the way of whatever the fuck you guys want to do?
I went for an appointment,
Mm-hmm.
and she expected I was gonna go back to Sean's place and hook up with her. And then I said, no, Sean's there, so I can't hook up with you at Sean's place.
Was it Sean in your place?
No, Sean and Liam's.
Yeah, that place.
So then I went back there, and then she's like, well, when can I come over? And I just kept sending her pictures of you and Sean and saying, oh, they're here, we can't.
Oh.
And then
didn't know I was involved.
I just stopped booking appointments.
Oh.
So
You ghosted her.
she kind of got ghosted, but she had a boyfriend to go to, so I'm not worried about it.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
Also, I'll say
now.
this: I've learned in the past like 3 years, don't be a homewrecker. I'm not into hooking up with people who have relationships now.
Dude,
But
you
at
tried
the-
it out,
good.
not a thing.
At the time, I think everybody in this room, except Carly, made it. Would have.
Maybe Carly. We don't know.
Everybody would have.
Yeah, everybody would have.
Your therapist, who's 7 years older and is down. Who
100%.
cares?
Yeah.
100%.
You're 17.
Yeah.
How hot
You're a
were
hero.
they?
You're a hero at school.
Yeah, you can't really tell anybody unless
I fucked a
in case she gets
24-year-old.
fired.
No, I had to tell everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he told everyone.
I'm telling everybody in the world
Yeah,
right,
right
now.
now.
That's a really good point. You're just leaving names out.
Boone. Okay, so as much as I'm fridge guy, when there is jungle juice, Boone is jungle man.
Juice guy.
We are obsessed with
Trade
jungle
me for a
juice.
second. I can't put this horn down.
It's the best because we get to add 3 bottles of alcohol to it, and we have it.
It's strong, man.
It's so
It's-
good,
It's
though.
hitting me right.
I love it so much. It's what I look forward to on Fridays. I'm such an alcoholic now. COVID made me an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's
you,
not great.
COVID.
Yeah.
Giving me
The
bad habits.
virus.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Jesus fuck.
I feel like that's enough.
and Jungle
What are you
Man,
doing to me, man?
I'm trying to fucking kill you today.
That is
Jungle
a-
Man, I'll take a hit.
That's a 3/4 pitcher of jungle juice that usually people would pour into glasses that Evan's going to chug right now.
This is generally what you put jungle juice into,
Yeah.
like to share with people, and
Yeah.
I'm drinking it.
Yeah,
on my
it's
own.
great. I mean, I think that's good for you. Anyways,
I don't know
sorry.
what
Sauce me
you
the hornback guys.
I don't know what
I
you
can
guys
take another hit
think.
of juice myself.
At the time, and probably still, Sean said that was my most impressive lay. That was unbelievable that I did
Do
that.
you concur?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably hooked up
That's
with hotter
pretty
girls, but like the situational
Yeah,
of it
situational of it.
is just
Yeah.
Definitely the
crazy
It's
that
different.
that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else who's had sex in a massage room. I'm sure tons of people have, but I don't know anybody personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally.
Evan, have you? Kind of just
No.
made a look there, but
No. No, I'm in no way. I don't understand. I think, dude, I don't even know how to describe it. I think Matt has like some sort of superpower. I think
Yeah.
Matt in himself is an aphrodisiac.
He's just got an aura, man.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Listen, absolutely. Not only is he good at getting laid, he's good at being a fucking wingman. There's no story here that I'm willing to tell. But you are a really good wingman.
I mean, the only story I can tell here is on New Year's, the night we met, I approached a girl and said, "Yo, come dance with my friend Boone," and you guys started dancing.
I don't remember that.
But I watched you dance with the girl that I approached. So
I once threw a
you're
lime
welcome.
at someone's
You're welcome.
hair
Part 2.
at a club.
Boone gets pretty fucked up at clubs.
It's awesome. Club Boone is my favorite. When we went back before COVID days to La Roca, did we tell this story already? I don't care. I love this story. Sean said to Boone, "Boone, I dare you to grab someone's bottle service off the table and drink it." And Boone, no hesitation, reaches over like 5 people, grabs the bottle, downs it, and puts it back.
Dude, this was a full bottle of white wine.
It was awesome.
I need to point out that there was nobody at this table.
No.
And in my head, if I drank their bottle, it was now our table.
I don't think that's how it works.
But that's how it worked to me.
okay.
Well, okay,
And then we sat at the table, so that is how it worked.
You know what oh, sorry.
I need to premise this story on the fact that I had no idea what was going on, and I looked at Boone, and the second I looked at Boone, he started drinking just this weird shaped bottle of white liquid, or like this clear
Yeah.
liquid. I thought he like took a flower out of a vase and just drank the water.
No,
I
dude.
thought he was just thirsty.
There was a carafe of like sangria or some shit.
You know what I also love about that night is when we all got Jägermeisters. We
Yeah.
took them at the same time.
And they were
it
really
cost us
expensive.
all of our money.
Yeah,
It was
we're like,
so
oh
funny.
fuck, we got no money left.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
well, that's that. Matt's like, I wasn't there.
I forgot to give a shout out to so me and Chine were driving in our neighborhood a couple weeks ago,
Oh yes.
and we seen someone down the street with written into the dirt of their car was their podcast name, and they lived down the street to us. And I was like, I forgot about it, and I thought about it today, and I was like, fuck, I should do that. So I wrote Mount Doom Cantina on both sides and the back of my car.
The
in
dirtiest
the dirt.
car.
Very dirty car. My black Honda Civic. It looks like shit. It's got a donut on it right now. I want to give a shout out to a guy called Bauer Approved who went to our most recent YouTube video and says, "Don't clean the car. It's great."
Yes.
I drove for a good hour today. I got one person. That's good enough for me.
That's
Hopefully
enough.
Bauer has subscribed and watched the podcast.
Yeah.
Bauer, I love you.
Yeah, we love you.
Thank you for looking at my car.
That was
And-
the best thing ever.
I have a shout out as well.
Okay.
Told the team this here the other day, last weekend when I was here. The girl from Matt in the Closet came forward and said she had heard the podcast and liked it. I just want to say, girls out there, if you ever hear a story about you, tell us.
Yes.
Because the amount, I'd say that was the most excited the four of us has ever been in a singular moment.
Yeah.
I was overjoyed
It was so
that
funny.
somebody had heard the podcast and knew the story was about them.
We
Yeah.
were stoked.
Maybe
We
one
were
day,
loving it.
maybe one day we'll tell how Matt's stories are not a thing that stops.
It never
Each
stopped.
of Matt's stories keep continuing.
Yeah.
There's
never
always
changed.
something added on later.
I can't believe the girl that Matt almost lost his virginity to contacted him 4 years later
Yeah.
from our podcast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Think about that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's crazy. And she's like, what'd she say? She was like, oh, I remember that.
She was like, I heard the podcast. Love that story. I don't know, something like that. And if anybody ever hears a story that they think is about them, contact me.
Hit us
Because
up.
I fucking loved that.
Business inquiries only. Email us.
Mm-hmm.
Please email
Drop
us.
another nude. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Ideally not in the email. That's kind of weird.
Nah, you can send them to the emails.
No,
Yeah.
please don't.
I'm in control
I have
of the
access
emails.
to the
Mhm.
emails.
I like the emails. Do that. That's a good idea.
No.
Send them,
Send
to,
your,
the,
please
send
send your
them to
nudes to the emails.
No.
send them to the Instagram.
That
No,
too.
God, don't send nudes.
TikTok, Twitter, nudes. Send them everywhere.
No.
Yep.
Okay, so we were going to talk about powerlifting now because
Yes.
Boone
Yes,
and Matt
we
have a
are.
lot of opinions on that. Me and Evan, not so much.
Yeah.
Well, we actually only have one opinion of it, and that's that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Matt and Boone potentially could have met before they even knew each other.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's possible.
Boone and I have agreed that we were at the same building at the same time,
Yeah, at this we
but we
you
didn't
can-
see each other.
we might have.
And I
We
was
don't know.
also
Or yeah,
there
we didn't Yeah,
well,
I don't remember you seeing you.
Yeah.
to see
we
Matt.
didn't meet each other there.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't introduce ourselves to each other.
No.
This is for context, this is at a powerlifting competition that happened about 2 years and change ago. Powerlifting, for anybody who doesn't know, it's kind of a niche sport. Actually, it's a really niche sport. A lot of people, if you tell them about it, they're going to think it's bodybuilding. Powerlifting is competing to see who can move the most weight in the squat, the bench, and the deadlift for 1 rep, basically.
That's a great way of explaining it.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of weight classes and stuff, but that's the basics of it. So Matt and I have both competed in the past. Matt at a way higher level than me.
Oh yeah, my journey through it was like the age of 17, and I went all the way to the world championship.
And he has his jacket here, but he didn't bring it onto set.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
he can't grab it.
didn't know
You can
enough.
get it right now.
I'm gonna get it right now.
Good man. Good man. Good man. I never got anywhere near nationals. I tend to get injured a lot powerlifting, but I'm not gonna claim that as my excuse. I just am not that good at powerlifting. What's up?
Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
Okay, so me and Sean went to go see Matt do the nationals in Edmonton, and we stayed at someone's house that Sean's parents knew, and it was my first experience with a devil cat. It was this black cat with these yellow eyes. Sean, do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Sean's nodding yes. And we were sleeping on the floor in the sleeping bag, and the cat was like across the room, and I saw the eyes, right? And I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever.
That gives me like a panther vibes.
Yeah, and then I closed my eyes, and I opened them, and the cat's here, right this close to my face.
Yeah.
And then he started to attack the sleeping bag. And so I was like, oh my god, he's gonna kill me. And he was like making weird noises, and then he left. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. I love
Before
cats.
you
That was
guys get
solid.
back into the powerlifting, anyone who's not a cat person,
Double cat.
just get a cat.
They're
You will
fun.
be a cat person.
Absolutely. I wasn't a cat person until I moved into a house with Evan, who had a cat,
Yeah.
and now I'm a cat person.
Yeah.
We have a
They're
second
cute.
cat now too, and I fucking love that guy too.
Just because
The
they're
baby
not
keeps
dogs
running.
doesn't mean they're horrible.
No,
They're
cats
just different.
They're
Cats
just
are
different.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're nice, except for the devil cat that tried to eat my feet.
If you're listening, Devil Cat, fuck you.
don't get anywhere near feet ever
No, I
again.
still love him though, because he's a cat. Okay, anyway, sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. whatever.
Look at the jacket.
So
though.
I was
Woo!
17. I was on Team Canada powerlifting
God damn.
at the highest level you can. And when I tell people about this, they kind of just say, cool. Or like, that's awesome.
That's a vibe.
When I told Boone, he was the first person I met, other than people who knew I was already going, that I had went. And Boone was like, there's no fucking way. And it was awesome. I was like, finally somebody who appreciates what I've done.
Dude, that's insane.
One of my lifetime goals is to break the Canadian squat record in my weight class.
And what is that record?
For junior, it's right now. Junior is, for anybody who doesn't know, is 23 and under, which I'm gonna age out of that next year, so I'm not breaking that record. But the junior record is, I want to say, 672.
In 93 kilograms?
In the 93 kilogram junior weight class. So 93 kilos is like about 205. Back when I was still lifting, that's what I used to compete at, and that's what I'm gonna probably compete at again. Next time I can get into a competition. So that was my goal for a competition this year, but that's obviously not going to happen now. So now I got to look up the open age Canadian record and go for that instead, which is probably going to be more in the realm of like 750.
But you pulled a semi truck. It's fine.
I did pull a semi truck.
These guys, like, I feel like
It was
I'm a
awesome.
pretty big guy, or like not a big guy. I feel like I'm above average.
No.
Yes, I am.
No,
Fuck
he
you.
is. He's bigger
I
than
am-
average.
I am like,
Sure.
I'm not that strong. I feel like I'm decently strong. Like in boxing, I can beat the shit out of people with punches. These guys can pull trucks.
I know, that's pretty
What
crazy.
are your muscles made out of?
But like,
The
why
stars?
are you pulling a truck?
Why am I pulling a truck?
Yeah.
Because that was the single best high of my entire life.
Did it hurt?
A lot. Oh my god, it hurt.
Matt, did you ever pull a truck?
I never pulled a truck. I think is that strongman that you did that?
That's strongman, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So
so
I just did
okay.
powerlifting, which is squat,
Yeah.
bench, deadlift.
For anybody who doesn't know, strongman is a completely separate strength sport, which is way more diversified than powerlifting and in
Yeah.
terms of what you actually do. And it started essentially as entertainment, so a lot of it still focuses on spectacle events. So in this case,
Yeah.
basically what the event was a semi truck, no trailer attached, just the truck, like a Peterbilt or whatever. Harness. So you're in front of the truck, harnessed up to it like you're reindeer pulling Santa's sleigh. You've got a rope in front of you to pull on to give your arms something to do as well,
Okay.
and you just pull the truck. It's in neutral. Obviously, they're not going to put it in park. They're not going to put the parking brake on, nothing like that. It's just in neutral, but the thing weighs 22,000 pounds.
Jesus.
And I think that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That's too much.
I freaking love powerlifting, and I don't have any Canadian records. I have a few Manitoba records,
Yeah.
Solid.
but the thing I love about the sport, and you'll probably agree with this, is nobody cares about the scores.
No,
Everybody just cheers you on.
absolutely.
They're like so happy that you can lift more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in powerlifting is just excited about your personal. Anytime you tell another powerlifter about what you've done,
Yeah.
and they tell you, you and them both get excited about the other person's accomplishments because they're doing better than they've ever done before, right? So and as powerlifters, we just love to hear that.
Yeah, and like even at the national championship, it was like that too. All that agreement. The only time I saw actual competitive nature was at Worlds, where people were doing strategical things to screw up other people.
Really?
Yeah, but that's Worlds.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
so
did
like
they do?
they would set their weight that they're going to lift the next one at a certain weight, and then you would set yours, and then you get a change, and just before you go out, they would submit the change to a higher one, so you couldn't pass them because you just did your lift.
Wow, that's fucked up. It's
So
like
that
a
was
game of
that was
chess.
That's
that
so
was the only time I ever saw them like
Wow.
try to sabotage where they're tricking you into thinking they're going to do a lower weight than they actually are. So
That's
that was
too
surprising
big
for
brain.
me.
I have
People
a
be doing
question.
whatever to win nationals, or excuse me, worlds.
I have a question for both of you guys. I have a very active mind, which can be a blessing and a curse.
And an active penis.
And an active. No, I have a very inactive penis. What is up with both of you guys' uncanny ability to completely focus on muscle, like just your muscles? Like when I'm working out, I love working out, but I can't stop myself from thinking of other things while I'm doing my set. You guys seem to, and I've seen Boone work out, and Boone do his fucking strength training. He takes a few seconds, or takes a few minutes, he breathes, he fucking completely and utterly puts all focus in his entire life, in his present life, towards doing this deadlift or squat or bench press or anything. You put all of your focus towards that. And I have no idea how the fuck you guys end up putting that much focus towards one specific thing. Like, what is your process?
Well, the way that you do it, or the way that I do it, is you start with, you turn up some music and you turn it up loud. And you don't want music that'll relax you. You want music that gets you going. So for me, that's some like fast, growly heavy metal, you know?
Right.
So something to like really get my blood flowing, get me angry just listening to it. And then you pick a spot and you look at it. So nothing's changing in your vision, nothing's changing in your hearing. You're in a gym, so your other senses are all going to stay the same. So it's almost like a sort of a sensory deprivation type of thing. And you just think about the lift you're about to do. And if it's a big enough lift that you have to get yourself psyched up, you're going to be a little bit scared about it. You should be a little bit scared about it.
No, I feel like it's
So
human to be scared about it.
with that, and the music helps a lot. So that'll get you a long way. And then if you really want to get like going, then you open up, you crack a bottle of Nose Torque, which for anybody who doesn't know is ammonia, which will absolutely ass blast your sinuses.
Yeah.
That shit'll, it's smelling salts. It's to wake up unconscious people.
It's fucked up. But can you not? You
and
can't
then
have
and then
music.
you get your buddy to slap the fuck out of your back, and then just the shock and the pain of it just helps. And then at that point you're ready to go. You're not gonna feel anything.
Yeah, and then you do have to take your headphones off.
Yeah, with competition, you're not allowed to wear
No
headphones,
music.
right?
They say it's a competitive advantage, which I think is bullshit.
No, I think that's absolutely true.
But you should be able to use your music the same way you use anything else.
I disagree. I don't think you should be able to have music on the platform.
But in powerlifting, are you allowed to use steroids or prohibited
There's
substances?
No.
Or,
They can piss test you.
Tested federations and there's untested federations.
oh, okay.
So there's some federations in the world where they say they will not test you, and there's other federations where they say they will test the fuck out of you.
Yeah. So the one
Interesting.
we both competed in, I think, they told me that like you can get piss tested whenever, and if we suspect anything, we will piss test you.
Interesting.
So I never got piss tested. But
And you have to get certified every year for the Canadian Center of Ethics in Sport. You got to take their like anti-doping test. It takes about an hour usually, and you got to get certified every year to compete.
And the only thing I'll add on to what you said earlier, that Evan's question about getting hyped up, was I think about the date. If you know the date of your competition, you can singularly focus on that date and make it like your entire life.
Oh yeah.
So you guys know me. I drink a lot.
Yeah.
And I just committed that drinking is not going to help you with your goals.
Absolutely.
And I stopped drinking and completely ate clean for nationals.
Yeah. You stop drinking. You stop smoking weed. If you're me.
And I just completely focused. And the date was February 22nd. And I was like, February 22nd is your entire life until that day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You don't go out and party. You're not like hanging out with people every night.
No.
You're going to bed at like 10 o'clock.
No.
You're stretching all the time. You're in the gym all the time.
So you place it in your calendar as a major life event.
It's just
fuck the calendar,
imprinted in my
you
head.
Put it in your head.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you start
Wow.
watching the days count down, and you're like, if you don't give 100%, that's your fault,
Yeah.
and it's that day.
Yeah.
And what helps to get you in that zone is taking notes on every workout you do.
Right. Yeah.
You remember I used to bring a notebook to the gym, eh?
Yeah. No, I get what you guys are talking about with boxing. It's just even while I'm in the ring, I'm thinking about other things. I'm thinking about
While you're
What-
in the ring, while you're
Yeah.
punching someone,
No,
you're
no.
like, wow.
I'm thinking about
Chipotle.
I'm thinking about
Popeyes.
not
No,
I'm not thinking about food, but I'm thinking about things that motivate me to push forward and to keep going. But it seems like, from what my experience of watching you guys, you push everything out of your mind other than the fucking lift.
Yep.
The fucking, because that is the most strenuous activity you could ever do. That's, and like a deadlift or even a squat, it requires so much attention. It's unbelievable. And boxing, I think you have room to kind of think about other things that
Well-
motivate you. But weightlifting, there isn't, and that's what I'm kind of confused about.
It's a headspace that you can't keep up for very long.
Yeah.
Because you're not if you can really get into the zone, you can barely see anything except for what you're looking right at.
Yeah.
You can barely hear anything. There's nothing in your head. There's no thoughts.
I agree.
It's all complete focus, and you simply can't keep that up for very long.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say I can push everything out for about 90 seconds.
Yeah, maybe.
That's my window
Maybe.
where I can be focused on one singular lift.
And it takes like 10 minutes to get those 90 seconds. Like 10 minutes of prep to get those 90 seconds.
But like that date, knowing the date is everything. I'd say that's the big problem with people like trying to get fit. They're like, "Oh, I want a 6-pack." But they just say like, I want to see that, but
Yeah.
they don't have a date.
Yeah.
And if you don't
Yeah.
focus on a date where you need that, or you need to make a certain weight like that you want to make,
A
if you want to
realistic
lose
goal.
if you want to lose a certain amount of weight by a certain time, but you're like, I just want to be fit. If you don't have any goals, you can't. You're not gonna do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
It's like
you need to really, really focus. You need a specific goal, and you need a specific date for that goal.
Cool.
And that's how you can lay the groundwork to get yourself in that focused headspace that you need to be in
Yeah.
for extreme physical competition like powerlifting or strongman.
I think that was very good. Very good option to save speaking. I have to pee, but I'm not going to stop, so we can move on now.
Carly, you can go pee.
I can go pee, yay! I have to
Go
pee
pee.
so bad.
We'll ask
Matt, you gotta move.
Wait,
between the three of us.
Yeah.
I have a most likely to generator on my laptop here. We've done this before.
Let's probably not talk about powerlifting
Yeah.
for this podcast.
I am genuinely interested about you guys. You guys have an uncanny ability to just stop every other attention in your mind other than lifting a weight. And
No,
that
dude.
blows my mind.
Trust me, if you ever get into strength sports, you'll either figure it out or I can show you.
Sweet.
I believe it's something that can't be taught. You just figured out. I just figured out. I don't think you can teach somebody to
there's-
block everything out of their mind.
You can't, but you can lay the groundwork. You can help them lay the groundwork for it. You can kind of guide them. You can give them every tool they need to get there, but you can't get them there.
Right. You know what that reminds me of? Mushrooms.
True. Oh my god.
We will talk about mushrooms. I don't know how many times we want to talk about mushrooms. Mushrooms, believe it or not, as crazy as they sound, have helped me a lot in who I am and just figuring out. It shows you corners of your mind you never even thought existed. We will talk about this in a later podcast. I kind of want a bigger following to reach more people because I find a big problem with mushrooms being illegal. They've helped a lot of people. They help with anxiety, depression, food disorders, addiction, all sorts of things. They should not be illegal. I am a big advocate for why they shouldn't be illegal. I am continuously looking up information as to why they shouldn't be illegal and how they can be used to help people. And I really want to reach people in order to show that mushrooms can do good things.
And if Evan had full control of the podcast, it would be the Doom
podcast.
Cantina podcast.
Yeah, the
because
mushroom.
Evan would be down to talk about mushrooms for an hour weekly.
Look,
Yeah.
Mount Doom Cantina, the Mount Doom thing, comes from a mushroom trip that me, Evan, and Austin had.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just moved the entire
maybe
table.
3 months ago.
And
so we will go into detail about mushrooms at some point.
At some point.
Remember, Evan,
Being the key word.
we can do this more than once.
yeah, we can. We all have.
We can do this soon, and we can do it later, and we can do it later than that.
Yeah, we have a lot of experiences. Each of us, me, Boone, and Austin, have separate experiences.
Yep.
And they're all individually interesting. And for anyone listening, please stop thinking of it as a drug. It's very mind altering and can show you the deepest part of your life.
Do you see how he's intently staring at me when he says this? Do you know how long he's tried to get me to do mushrooms?
I just want people to do mushrooms because they can actually see how things go, how things work,
Mushrooms
how themselves work.
can be a very helpful tool.
Anyways,
To
let's
help
move
people with-
on.
Let's move on. I don't want to get into mushrooms right now.
Do you see how they started talking about mushrooms when I left?
I just want to end.
non-Carly thing.
I just want to end this conversation with the fact
Oh God.
that mushrooms have been fucking shown to be like 5 times more effective than antidepressants. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, move on.
Also,
Look
Evan,
into it, please.
I do want to point out one more thing, which is that you're absolutely right, Evan. Having a good mushroom trip and being able to get the absolute block-out focus that you need for a max effort lift, very similar
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah. It's not a matter of... It is a matter of going in with a certain amount of information, but it's a lot about learning it yourself, right? You have to go into the experience knowing that you're a different person and knowing that you learn in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's the best way to learn.
All
by
right.
yourself.
What are we doing?
We'll cover mushrooms.
Boone
again in
does
another
shrooms
episode.
before lifting.
Whoa!
While lifting. Okay, we're gonna go move into most likely to. I think we've done this on
I love it.
one of the previous podcasts.
But now,
This is where we get to have a little fun on the podcast.
yeah,
Yeah.
but now we can drink if we're chosen.
I'm already drunk.
I'm so drunk. It's so
This
bad.
I'm a
jungle
little
juice
tipsy
is
too.
fucked up.
Oh, it's so
I don't know
good.
what you guys put into this. Arsenic?
2 bottles of rum.
Some sort of poison.
2
2
different
bottles of rum and a bottle of
Bacardi.
peach schnapps.
Fancy.
Jesus fuck.
We fancy now.
There's also a little bit of fruit juice in here.
Just a little bit.
And I am now an option for most likely to.
Yay!
Yes!
I'm so excited. Okay,
Last
let's go.
time we did most likely
By the
to.
way, this time we should keep it to just the people around the table. Last time we used extended podcast members. I think we should start keeping it to just the people
Just most
on
likely
the
of the
podcast.
4 of us.
Of the 4
But
of us.
I'll
Okay,
say
that's
I
easy.
listened to the last episode. I was 100% the choice.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, Boone was also like a lot of the choice. I think it's mostly going to be
Them.
Boone or Matt. But
Sometimes you.
let's try and have a discussion about why.
Why?
Let's get into it.
Let's
I'm
get
excited.
into the news.
Who is most likely to have sex with 2 different people without showering in between
Matt.
it?
Me and I have.
No way, really?
Yeah.
How many? Like, was it 2 or was it more than 2?
It was 2. It was the same evening.
And you just had like swamp
The
ass,
same evening.
dirty pussy
Yeah.
dick,
It was the same night, and
and you
Did
were
they
like,
just-
know each other?
no, I just
Okay.
I went from where I was to the next location.
and you're like, listen, I already fucked.
No,
Might
I
as
didn't.
well keep fucking.
I didn't tell her that I fucked somebody else. I didn't say listen.
Oh.
I just fucked the next girl.
And you didn't like
You
smell
just
the
went about your business.
just smell the sweaty balls.
Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't.
Maybe she liked it.
Yeah.
No?
The second girl we hooked up twice. So
Whoa.
Oh,
Is that a
Clearly-
story for another time?
could be.
I can
She's
make
not
it.
on my list, but I can make it work.
Okay. I'm almost out
So
of
yeah, I'm gonna say most likely me because I've done it.
Boone,
It's
can
definitely
you
me.
give me more, please?
absolutely. I can give you more.
Jung-
Irish, can you hold on to my
Jungle Man.
Who's most likely to go vegan? Definitely not me. I cannot survive without meat.
I
love
think
chicken.
Carly.
I would do it for like the meme of it. I go
Yeah.
vegan for like a week. It would be like something like that. I'm sorry, I like chicken too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Carly. I can't live without meat.
Who was most likely to marry their high school sweetheart?
I
I think me. Listen, I'm not
gonna say-
afraid.
I'm gonna say I don't want it to be you.
Yeah,
Why?
we don't want it to be
Well,
him.
because if you married your high school sweetheart, I wouldn't go to your wedding, and I really
Me
want to be your
neither.
best man.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to my own wedding if I married my high school sweetheart.
I don't want to marry my high school sweetheart though.
I don't really have a high school sweetheart.
I have no problem with telling people that I have a huge heart that can be
Fucking brag about it.
a blessing and a curse.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like my emotions are very well manipulated by the female species.
I would agree.
So probably me.
Yeah,
If
probably
all
you.
things went to hell and my high school sweetheart came back
I was like, I love
and
you.
even remotely shared even somewhat of a fucking appreciation for me, I'd be like, let's get married.
I'll go with Evan.
Again,
Yeah, I would go with
I'd say
Evan.
me.
Evan, if you do that, I'm not going to your wedding.
No, neither
And-
would I.
And
No,
I
agree.
really want to be. I know I'm not in that position right now, but I really want to be your best man.
Evan, I don't know
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus, but I'll be your best man.
Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannosaurus.
Yes,
Hi, Tyrannosaurus. I hope you're watching.
I don't think she
Just
is.
know that my life is way better without you.
Ooh.
Mine's not.
Yeah, right. Who is most likely to be a stalker?
Carly.
Oh, for me for sure.
Carly, yeah.
Basically,
Absolutely.
my friends used to send me like someone's name, and I could find their entire life, all over everything. It was fun. It was a good time.
These questions are
Fucking
kind of
right.
shitty.
Yeah. Well, are you on the 18
Bro,
plus ones?
You're on popular, dude.
You're
Is there an 18
popular.
plus one?
You
Yeah,
gotta
what
switch
are you
it out.
There
freaking
isn't an
doing?
18 plus one. Just popular relationships, hot, crazy, or party.
Let's
Or
do.
mixed. Who's most likely to tell someone they were kissing badly? See, this is
Evan.
yeah. This is a question.
Yeah, Evan's so honest.
Evan's
Evan's too honest.
beautifully honest.
Am I too honest?
Do you
No,
lie?
Not to me.
Do I lie? Yeah. I do lie, but it's generally
Have you lied to me?
not that I can recall right now.
Well,
but I
that's good.
also have a very bad memory.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
that's probably
chances
due
are
to
yes.
the marijuana.
Marijuana tends to take my short-term memory and throw it in the trash can. Get rid of it. Don't hate it. Doesn't happen. Probably. Yeah. No.
That's so
I
rude.
I don't generally lie to people that actually mean something to me,
Aw.
but I will lie my fucking ass off at work. And I feel like I'm a pretty good liar.
Honestly, that doesn't count.
I'm a pretty good liar.
I'm not convinced that lying at work counts as lying.
I feel like I'm the best liar in this room.
Lying at work is surviving sometimes.
Yeah, that's survival. That's
Sometimes.
different.
Who's most likely to have a disease named after them?
Me!
Yeah.
Carly.
Yeah,
I
you're
would
the
have find
scientist.
a disease.
I was hoping it was me, but it's gonna be Carly.
Be like
I-
Carlina or something.
Initially,
Yeah.
I was thinking of Boone too,
The
because
Garrett
syndrome.
Boone's
Garrett
kind of a
syndrome.
Boone's kind of a dirty motherfucker,
Fuck you.
and he just
Look at this- look at
produces
this.
diseases.
But I
Clean
like
ass
work
motherfucker
with
right here.
stuff.
Carly is in science, and
Yeah, she
I
is.
hope that you acknowledged my appreciation for women in science yesterday.
Yes,
Or-
very good.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Pretty
Women in
cool.
Science. Today, February 12th. 12th?
Is today the 12th? I don't
Today is the 12th, and it's Darwin Day, which is
Oh,
really
shit.
big in biological sciences. And I listened to presentations all day, which were awesome, and all about biology. And now I want to own a penguin, but that was also there before.
know. You wanted to own a penguin.
What do you want to
long
be, Jim
before this.
Carrey?
Does he own a penguin?
Does he own a
No,
penguin?
Mr. Popper's penguin.
I know, but does he own one?
No,
I would
probably
Does
not.
try.
actual Jim Carrey's kind of nuts. He might.
The best.
Actual Jim Carrey is a serial killer on this podcast.
On this podcast, he's
yeah.
a serial killer.
He shoots people.
I just love penguins so much. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love penguins. And it all comes back from when I was at SeaWorld. and my dad paid a bunch of money for me to go touch a penguin, and I got to touch one, and it was the best day of my entire life, and nothing else has lived up to that, just to be honest.
Do you
It's
guys?
sad.
We can't even compete with a fucking penguin.
I have a
No.
A
question.
bird that can't even goddamn fly.
But who
Jesus
cares? He's
Christ.
so cute, and they're
What-
so fluffy, and they feel so good.
Boone, this isn't a Boone's Bodacious Bong Rip Beliefs. Because you're not taking a bong rip.
Let's hear it.
What is up with the development of birds that can't fly? Why do they exist?
Well,
I could-
because flying takes a lot of energy and a
Yeah.
lot of gnarly shit. So if birds are in an environment where they don't have to fly,
Like Antarctica.
like Antarctica, where there's basically
Water
no
all
predators,
around them.
the only predators out there are the ones in the water. They don't need to fly, so they lose the ability to fly because there's other things that they need more. Like, for example, with penguins,
I love that.
they need to be able to have an insulative layer to survive in Antarctica, right? Which for them is like down feathers and I think a layer of fat,
True.
Blubber.
which would make them unable to fly anyway, right?
Yeah. And also, they're amazing swimmers. And also, the movie Penguins by Disney, the behind-the-scenes version is better than the actual movie because they go and they're like, hey, this penguin, like, is in a hole by itself in the water. And they go and they film him, and he, like, jumps out and jumps back in and jumps out. He's, like, acting for them. He's, like, the best actor. And they're like, yes, Penguin, you're doing the bestest. Like, they talk to him like he's actually an actor.
Nice.
And I just love him.
What's up with people who film documentaries just being okay with the most innocent, cute animals dying?
It's life. You gotta...
No,
you can't,
dude, but you can intervene, you know? Like,
But why would you?
You
You-
can't,
no.
though.
Listen, Evan,
You
but you
can't, though.
can.
But here's the thing, Evan. You got to realize that for most predators out there, hunts are successful like 10 to 15% of the time.
Yeah,
right?
it's very
so
low.
if it looks like they're getting that and you take it away from them, that's a predator that's got to hunt another 10 or 15 times to get a kill.
which
It's
The
about...
predator's not an asshole, Evan. You're a human being, the ultimate apex predator of all time.
I will give you some scientific facts.
right.
Do you know ecology? Do you know what the word
Listen,
ecological habitat system
Carly,
means?
I don't care about your fancy words. All I know is one time I was actually the first time I was on mushrooms, I watched a fucking documentary, and there was a dog. There was not a dog, a fucking bird, a little cute bird covered in tar, and they let him die.
See, I think.
Just save
hold on.
the fucking
I want to say
bird.
this.
Do
I
not save the bird. That's screwing with nature.
no. I think.
He's covered in tar.
I think Evan's problem with it is probably the voice, is the monotone nature of it. The lion stalks the
No,
gazelle.
don't be mad at David Attenborough. He is the life of the world. When he dies, science
Life dies.
dies. Yeah,
So, yeah.
life
Yeah, the
dies.
world ends.
Don't
Nature's
be,
gone.
Don't be mad at the narrator for narrating the documentary.
He's beautiful.
Don't be mad at the predator for
Yeah.
killing its prey because that's what that predator has to do to survive.
The whole
And don't be mad at the documentarian for not saving anything because if they did, now they're screwing with the natural order, which
Yeah.
is and the whole point of
food
making a
web.
documentary is to film the natural order.
Yeah.
So if you start fucking with the natural order, all of a sudden you're not making a documentary.
No.
You're making a feature film where you fuck with wild animals, which is animal cruelty.
exactly.
I don't think it's animal cruelty to save a little baby bird from
It-
dying.
I think it's
change-
I
it
think I think
Listen,
it's
wait,
I think
wait,
it's
wait.
animal cruelty.
Wait, let me speak now.
to
It's my
stop
turn.
a
Give me
predator
1 second.
Your
from
dad is
eating.
listening to this. I was like, let Carly speak. So shut
I just
up.
want to say one thing.
I
I really need to pee. And
Okay, you can go.
That's my pet peeve, and I want to like, say what you
So
need to
bad.
say while I'm peeing.
What?
There's a question on the screen. It
Okay.
says, "Who is most likely to be paid for sex?" So if you guys have stuff to run out of, because I am the life of
Who
the
is most
of the
likely
podcast.
to be paid for sex?
Okay,
Evan's
I'm gonna go.
leaving because he knows the answer isn't him.
I don't know. I would maybe.
I don't get sex in general.
I'm gonna hope it's me, but I'm gonna say it's probably Matt.
I don't know. I
Um,
think it's most likely to be Evan, to be honest.
Really?
No, I would.
In what scenario?
Guys, in an actual scenario where we're all on the street begging, it's Carly.
Well, that's just
But
because I am a
that's
girl.
that specific scenario.
Yeah, if it was just the three of you, though.
I like
I still think it's me over Evan.
Oh,
absolutely
yeah, it's probably...
out of our current lives,
Yeah.
The most likely person for that to come up in their regular life is Matt, by far.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But going back to the whole like ecological thing, I think Evan's dumb for trying to
let's win the argument while he's not here.
Yeah. So it's dumb because in food webs, everything has to work. Like parasites have to infect things, things need to die, and it's just the way that it works. And it sucks and it's sad and you can't save everybody. You can't save every human on Earth. You can't save every animal. That's just how it is. Evolution will take its course no matter what you do. And that's all I'm going to say. Boone, any last thoughts?
Yeah. Back to the food web. Fucking with predators fucks with the whole ecosystem. Because predators are at the top of the food chain. And if you fuck with the top of the food chain, you fuck with literally everything underneath it.
Yeah.
More than you fuck with the predators, basically. If you, for example, wipe out the wolves, the deer population explodes, they eat all the food, and then all of a sudden the deer population vanishes completely.
Yeah.
Which means everything that relies on deer, which is all kinds of stuff, also declines.
Exactly.
So, have a healthy predator population where you don't fuck with them, and you will have a healthy ecosystem. Evan, we won the argument while you were gone. We're not going back to it.
And Evan, there are two answers. In our regular lives, I'm most likely to get paid for sex. If we're all on the street begging, it's Carly.
Yes.
Because I'm a girl.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless there's gay guys, then it's Matt.
I am getting...
I think I'm hotter than Matt. Only marginally.
I disagree.
Listen, I do you.
I have no opinion.
You would do me.
I think
In a pinch.
I
I
can
wouldn't
sell
do
myself
you.
pretty well.
Me too.
Maybe you're just straighter than I am.
Okay,
I think I could sell myself pretty well too.
I'm getting drunk enough to the point where I can't...
I'm too drunk. I shouldn't keep speaking on
All right,
this
Read
podcast.
that well.
let's go to Matt's questions
Yeah,
then.
let's
Wanna
do
go to Matt's
3
questions?
Matt's
And
questions.
then we'll wrap it up.
3 of them. Pick
Okay,
your 3 favorites.
One more would you rather while I...
Okay, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
Give us another one of these.
I just wanted to say that I'll probably... While I was in the bathroom, I was thinking, like, I probably need to premise this podcast on the fact that we're drunk.
Dude, we're always drunk though.
And I want to do a little pre-podcast, a little snippet saying, I'm fucking drunk. Carly's drunk.
What?
I think.
I am.
We might be a little bit all over the place right
Yeah.
now. We haven't done a podcast in a little while. Things went a little south.
I think we're doing great though.
Okay, guys. Let's pull it back. Let's bring up the question.
Me,
Matt, you got a question?
I like nice disclosure, but if Matt's got a question ready to go, let's shoot.
Yeah.
I have 4 questions.
4
All right,
questions.
We're going to go with
Got
4
it.
today.
Got it.
If you were a sexy calendar, what month would you be?
July. That's my birth month.
Fuck you. That's my birthday.
Haha. I took it.
So I see myself as April.
I could see April.
There's rain coming down. I'm in the rain jacket, but my shirt's open.
Yeah.
I like it. I like where your head's at.
I would say my description, but that's too much
Um,
right now.
You
I'd
got
probably-
it. You got it as well.
I'd probably pick like April.
No,
May.
I mean-
No, you can't do April.
May
Say-
then.
Or
Because
May.
May's like getting into the summertime.
The flowers are coming up.
The
Your
flowers are
dick's
coming
coming up.
Dicks out, flowers out, assholes out. The assholes is flowering just as much as the flowers are.
Is this forward or a backward shot?
Backward, for sure.
That has, yeah.
I want
Yeah.
the word May imprinted on my asshole.
Yeah.
On your asshole.
Yes.
Boone, what month are you?
I'll take September, and here's why: A, it's my birth month. B, I feel like that's the best time to get my shirt off, wear a big old belt buckle and a cowboy hat, and stand in front of a nice golden wheat field.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Okay. This is a question that's hard to word as a question, so I'm going to try to explain it.
Okay.
People seem to continue to come to me with questions about things I'm interested in, thinking that I have a higher level of knowledge of it because I'm
Yeah.
interested in it. So my 2 main interests in the winter are snowboarding and the gym.
Right.
And people seem to think I know what hours the gym are going to be open because I'm into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have no exterior knowledge. And they seem to ask me, like, what day are the lifts opening?
Yeah.
What runs will be open? Do
I
you
agree with
have
that.
anything
Yeah.
where people think that you have a higher level of knowledge of it because you're just interested in it? And you're like, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, the answer to that is coffee. people think because I work at a coffee store that I know everything there is to know about coffee beans, which I do not. Like, the roast and the taste and the acidity, like, I do not know, and I do not care. It all tastes the same. Yeah, it's a whole
Who
thing.
the fuck cares about the acidity of
A
coffee?
lot of people care about the acidity of coffee and the body of coffee.
If
and
you're
the type.
if you're listening and you care about the acidity of coffee, please go ahead and die.
A lot
Fuck
of people
you.
also think I know everything there is to know about science because I'm in science, but that's just not true. I know a lot about a little. That's all I have to say.
I got one. I'm a 4th level electrician, which is pretty close to being a certified electrician. Like, that's 4th level is the last level. I kind of bullshitted my way through school.
We all been there.
Yeah. And
true.
when people ask me questions about in-depth electrical shit, I'm like, fuck if I know.
See, but sometimes I
But
think
it's my job.
sometimes I think that's more valid. It's like, you are a level 4, you should know this shit, right? For
Yeah.
me, it's like, you're into snowboarding. Why don't you know what day they're opening this year?
Yeah, that's
and I'm
kinda
like,
dumb.
You're like, why?
I just have a general interest.
Yeah, I
like-
just
I just
kinda
like snowboarding. I like sliding down snow.
That's
That's what
it.
I know.
Yeah.
How
Boone,
about
do you have anything?
Well, I've got 2 things. One, I tend to get asked when I like to go hunting, but I'm really bad at it.
yeah, it's very
But
sad.
the point is,
good.
I do enjoy hunting. People who are just like generally curious tend to ask me when hunting season starts. First off, there's a shitload of different hunting seasons.
Yeah.
Like, every animal has a different season, and every kind of gun has a different season. Basically,
Really?
it's really well, yeah. Rifle season and muzzleloader season. Muzzleloader being like well, you load it from the muzzle, so you only get 1 shot, and then you have to spend a full minute reloading.
Ugh.
See, that is valid.
That is valid.
Napoleonic War shit. But I don't know. I typically know when the season starts.
But you don't know the migratory patterns. of
No.
the animal.
I typically know when the season starts, like a week after it started.
Yeah.
Right.
But people before always think you're going to know,
Exactly.
which
And
is
then-
annoying, right?
not really.
I find
You're like, I just like
The-
shooting animals.
The
No.
I don't fucking know.
the other thing is people ask me like questions that I really should know
Yeah.
about my life or people in my life and what they're doing, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
I know
That happens
about
to me.
all kinds of weird esoteric shit.
Yeah.
But people are like, "Hey, what are you doing Friday?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "I don't know. I could be doing fucking anything on Friday."
Yeah,
All right?
exactly. Friday.
People are like, "What did you do last Friday?" I'm like, "I don't really know."
My mom always asks me like about your guys' life, and I'm like, I don't know. We don't really talk about that. They're like,
No,
how are you
don't.
friends for them for 2 years and not talk about this stuff? I'm
Because
like,
after a certain
I don't
point,
know.
you get past talking about the most recent thing that happened in your life.
Yeah.
And you talk about stuff.
aliens, basically.
Yeah,
Okay,
aliens.
next question.
What is the best compliment you have ever received?
I have a perfect answer for this. Going back maybe like a year and a half now, I got stoned on my own and I was watching a movie and eating a pizza. And then, like maybe halfway through the movie, Evan came down and got stoned with me. And then we watched the rest of the movie. And he was looking at my closed pizza box. And he was like, "Man, I should get some pizza." And I opened it up to reveal that I had 2 pieces of pizza left. So I gave one to him and I ate the other one myself. And Evan looked at me and with the most sincere, just like an inner beauty in his eyes, he said, "You are an honorable man." And that's the best compliment I've ever had.
Wow.
Wow.
And it was not a
What's
lie.
yours, Matt?
I've had it a few times, but when somebody said, "I respect you,"
Yeah,
that's so much better than like, "I think you're attractive." I respect who you
Yeah.
are.
Respect's
Wow.
a big thing.
That or tied with Boone saying, "I'm a certified beauty." I love being a beauty in general, but now getting my certification means so much to me.
Especially from Boone, the guy who certifies everything.
I am the certification man.
Evan?
Shout out to my girlfriend, when we started talking. First thing we met on
This is
like
gonna be the E thing.
no, that too. Thank you for reminding me. When we first met, we met on Bumble. On Bumble, women have to talk first. She just said, "I like your beard,"
That's a good one.
and I've never received that before. My beard has gray patches in it, and she liked it, and that was pretty cool.
So the fact that she lied.
The fact that she lied just
or
to
the-
make
you.
me feel good.
Yes.
Or the fact that she actually liked it, because you got to remember this is an opener. She doesn't have any vested interest in making him feel good about himself.
No, she
Yeah.
lied.
Yeah.
She also calls me E,
Which is a big thing
which
for
to
Evan.
me is like
It's a weird thing.
it just hits my fucking nerve. I don't know why, but
Especially after Dad E. Shout out to Shanae. Thanks for
just-
calling Evan Daddy.
Sinead, if you're listening, I just want you to know that you are the one and only person who is allowed to call me E. If me and you somehow don't work out, and I date someone else, nobody other than you is allowed to call me E. That is the biggest compliment. I love it. Please continue. I don't know why I like it. It makes
It's a
me
weird
sound. It
thing.
makes me sound like I sell ecstasy,
Which you kind of do.
which I kind of do,
You-
except with mushrooms. Call me M.
Okay, but you don't sell it though. You just give it. You
I just give it away.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
You're a
drunk.
shitty drug dealer because
So,
you
yeah.
don't get paid.
Thank you for giving me the best compliments I've ever received in my life. You are cool, and I like you a lot.
Okay, Carly.
I don't really have that many compliments.
Nobody's ever given you like you must have a standout compliment, the best one you've ever gotten.
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay, how about this, Carly? Every time I hear you're coming over, which is like 3 or 4 times a week, I get happier.
Oh, Boone! Yeah, because usually I just annoy people. That's kind of my thing.
So Boone has given Carly her best compliment.
Yeah, oh, thanks, Boone. I
Carly,
love
you get so many compliments.
I know, but
I
I,
even
don't
heard
listen
of
to them.
Right. It's one of those
This-
things that you just don't remember.
Yeah.
You're
My-
so used to it.
Yeah, because I'm
Women.
so much. So many compliments. So hard.
My next question.
The last question.
My last question of the evening.
Ooh.
Would you rather never be able to listen to new music or never be able to listen to old music as in music you've already listened to?
Oh shit!
No.
My answer, I would only listen to the music I've already listened to. I fucking love it. I
Yeah.
have no idea where the chorus of music is going to go.
Yeah.
And I would pick the music I've already listened to and submit that I'll never listen to anything new.
I agree. Because I don't think I could go my whole life never listening to Low by Flo Rida again.
You know what? I'm with you, except not with the Flo Rida thing. I cannot go the rest of my life without listening to any Guns N' Roses song, because Guns N' Roses is
Oh,
my favorite
shit.
band, and I've listened to every Guns N' Roses song.
On mushrooms.
Apple bottom jeans.
When we
Every single Guns N' Roses. Everybody who's listening, after this podcast is done, go listen to "Don't Cry" by Guns N' Roses. It's the greatest power rock ballad in the history of music.
Mount Doom Cantina.
Oh, God.
Mount Doom is a place.
Yes, Mount
Beside
Doom
our
is a
house.
place.
It's not a fictional place. It's an actual place. It's a playground.
Uh-huh.
That had a cigar while we were on
Yeah.
mushrooms. We listened to fucking Guns N' Roses.
We listened. What did we listen to? We listened to.
Dude.
We listened to "Sweet Child of Mine" and we listened to
Oh,
"Patience."
I love that song.
Oh my dear God. You know,
Okay.
before Boone mentioned that, I was
Yeah.
like, no, I would listen to new music because I
Mm-hmm.
can get sick of music very easily.
So can I.
Yeah.
I've also probably heard like 30,000 songs in my life.
That fucking Guns N' Roses might have been the best thing I've ever heard in my life when I was at Mount Doom.
I agree.
Wow.
I fully agree.
So you're going with old music too.
I'm going
Yeah,
old music too.
is the way to go.
So the four of us will never listen to a new song.
Ever. There's too many good ones out
Fuck
there.
you, Justin Bieber.
I want to listen to new songs. I want to listen to songs I've never listened to before. But if those are the two options, I'm not giving up Guns N' Roses. Axl Rose, if you're listening to this podcast, I love you.
All right, I think that's
You're the bomb.
Before we end this episode, can you please fucking see how, like, can you be proud of me of how
Bro.
I got through this
Yeah,
fucking
we're.
You put
tankard.
That's
you
how
put-
I know
you
we're
put
too drunk to
fucking
continue the
damage
podcast.
in that.
Dude, I'm fucked up. This fucking jungle juice is toxic.
It's a lot of rum.
You put serious damage in that
Okay.
pitcher.
God damn.
I feel like we have to end it now.
It's
gonna end
episode 9. I've never said it before.
Episode
All right,
10.
you haven't said it?
I've never said it.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
before we end it, episode 10 will be in the van. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
The van.
The van.
Every
That's
10th,
it.
every
No.
10th unit.
You said you just leave it at that, and
Okay,
you're gonna
let's
keep
just leave
going.
it at that, yeah.
All right.
And a little jumbo. Rum.